Today we are starting a new unit, Solving Quadratics, All Methods. That's what SQAM stands for. And we are going to start by doing it by factoring. I'm going to remind you about the zero product property. What that means is when things are factored, you can set each factor equal to 0 and solve. So I would set x equal to 0 and x minus 2 equal to 0. This is already solved. This one I would add 2 to both sides, and we would be good with this one. Another example, 2 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. 2 equals 0 doesn't make sense. I would add 4 here. X equals 4, and I would subtract 3 here. X equals negative 3. So again, the zero product property means once you have everything factored, set each factor equal to 0 and solve. Now we have been factoring for quite a while now, so this piece should be easier for you if you've been doing your stuff. Remember, step 1 in factoring is look for a GCF. So my greatest common factor in this one is 5, because 5 goes into 5 and 15. There are only 2 x's here, so I can't factor out any x's, so I will be left with x squared minus 3 equals 0. After you've taken out a GCF, look to see if you have a difference of perfect squares or a trinomial, and check to see if it is factorable still. X squared is a perfect square, but 3 is not. So we are done factoring. Now set each factor equal to 0, and you can solve it. 5 equals 0 does not make sense. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So that's x squared equals 3. Now remember, to undo a square, you take the square root of both sides. X is going to equal, now if I take the square root of 3, it's always my second key, and I get 1.73. But remember, when you take a square root, you need a positive and a negative answer. Let's go to the next one. I do not have a greatest common factor. It's 3 terms, so that would mean it's a trinomial, and a equals 1. When we do trinomials, we always list out what a, b, and c are. When a is 1, this is the quicker method. You look at your factors of negative 4. So negative 4 times 1, negative 1 times 4, and negative 2 times 2. We are looking for the factors that would add up to negative 3. And it would be these right here, because negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. 2 binomials. X squared is x and x. Negative 4, positive 1. Remember, these are still equal to 0. Separate them. X minus 4 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. When I add 4 to both sides, x equals 4. When I subtract 1 from both sides, x equals negative 1. All right, moving on to the next example. No greatest common factor. It's a trinomial. A is not equal to 1 this time. So A equals 2, B equals negative 5, and C equals 3. This time we have to find A times C, which is 6. And we are looking for the factors of 6 that would add up to negative 5. So 6 times 1, add those is 7. 2 times 3, add those is positive 5. But negative 2 times negative 3, when I add those two together, I get negative 5. Now because A equals 2, this is when we are going to use our array. In the upper left-hand corner, remember it's 2x squared. in the bottom right, it is your constant. And now I'm going to use these two right here, and they will go into your array in either spot. All right, so x and x. Now remember, my factors of 2 are 2 and 1. I want to place them appropriately so that I can actually find the needed information. I'm going to put the 2 here, and I'm going to put the 1 here. Now 2 times what gives me negative 2? Well, that is negative 1. 1 times what gives me negative 3? That is negative 3. So now I have these factored. My factors are 1x minus 1 and 2x minus 3. Remember, I get them from the top and the side. Those are equal to 0. So I'm going to continue. 1x minus 1 equals 0, and 2x minus 3 equals 0. I'm going to add 1 to both sides, so x equals 1. I'm going to add 3, so 2x equals 3. I'm going to divide by 2, and x equals 3 over 2. Final answer. Now the last thing I want to talk about is the discriminant. The discriminant, this word right here, tells you how many solutions you're going to have in a quadratic equation. The discriminant is this equation. I don't know where to write it. B squared minus 4ac. If you get 0, there's one solution. If you get a negative number, there's no solutions. And if you get a positive number, there are 2 solutions. So, here we go. A is 1, B is 10, and C is 25. So we are going to go 10 times 10 minus 4 times 1 times 25. And let's see what we get. 10 times 10 minus 4 times 1 times 25. I got 0. When I get 0, that means there is one solution. This one. A is 2, B is negative 4, and C is 3. So negative 4 times negative 4 minus 4 times 2 times 3. What do we get? Negative 4 times negative 4 minus 4 times 2 times 3. And I got negative 8. When you get negative 8, there is no solutions. All right, lots of stuff in there. Take your time, watch the video again if you need to, and have a great day.